Hey there, Math 1010 students. It's Mrs. Scholes. Welcome to week 6. This is a test week. So let's get into what you can expect this week in our class. So this is the suggested schedule for how you organize your work this week. I like showing you this so you have a view of everything that's on your plate this week. You have your chapter 3 and 4 review assignment, and then the chapter 3 and 4 test window is from Wednesday to Sunday. You need to complete the chapter 3 and 4 test, both attempts of it, during that testing window. In addition to that, we are moving on into chapter 5. So you have 3 chapter 5 assignments to complete this week. Okay, so it's a lot to stay on top of, but if you manage your schedule and plan ahead, then I know you'll be able to fit it all in. You guys have been doing really great with that. Everything is due on Sunday at midnight, regardless of how you want to plan your schedule this week. All right, so these are the sections covered in the chapter 3 and 4 test. Everything that we've done, every section that we've covered will be on the test. And let's talk a little bit about the test. So again, the testing window is Wednesday through Sunday. Both attempts of the test have to be completed during that window. It cannot be submitted late. It covers chapter 3 and 4. It is 16 questions long, and there is no time limit to this test. So please take your time to check all of your answers and make sure that you've got them right before you decide you're done. All right, so take your time on this. It has to be completed in one sitting because Proctorio will be running. You have 2 attempts on this test as long as you have all of your chapter 3 and 4 homework assignments completed in MyLab Math with an 80% or better. And I promise that you want 2 attempts, so make sure that you have those homework assignments done, all right? During the test, you are allowed to have your Math 1010 formula sheet on your desk. It has to be a printed sheet. And you can have a handheld non-graphing calculator. You can also have paper, pencil, scratch paper to do work with, and that is it. All right. And then a reminder that it's remotely proctored using Proctorio. So your camera's running so that I can be watching you the whole time. Okay, this is what your schedule looks like for in Canvas the module for week 6. There's just 2 things that I wanted to point out on here. There's this resource that says watch, prepare for your chapter 3 and 4 test. This resource has a video that goes over every single question on your review assignment. So if you complete your review and realize that there's quite a few questions that you're struggling with or sections you don't understand, come to this resource and watch the lesson videos to see how to do the problems correctly. Okay, I promise that if you see a question on the review, it is likely that it will be on the test. Okay, the test isn't meant to trick you. The things that you see on the review are the things that you see on the test. So use this resource. And then also there is this reminder right here that you need to complete the review in MyLab Math. There's nothing to click on in week 6 to do that. You just have to remember that that has to be done before you do your test. Okay. So that's the module. And then I had some students having issues with accessing our first test. So I wanted to briefly go over the instructions for this. Remember that you need to put your phone away while you are taking the test. I shouldn't be seeing it on your desk or getting pulled out during your test. Okay, it has to be completely stowed away during the test. When you start the test and see this screen, this is the point when Proctorio will run a diagnostic of your room. So you'll be asked to move your camera around so I can see your desk and your environment that you're testing in. After you do that, then you start the assignment and it takes you to this question right here. On step number 1, there's a link to click and open the test. It should take you directly to the test, but for many students, it wasn't working. So if it doesn't take you directly to the test and instead it prompts you to enter a password, then the password is right here. Okay, you just type it in and then you begin your test. Some students were being prompted to log into Pearson before they could start the test. If that happens to you, you do not have a Pearson login. So you have to close that window and then you'll go to MyLab Math and just manually navigate to the chapter 3 and 4 test. Okay. Okay, hopefully that solves some issues that people were having with our first test. All right. Last thing, it's test week, so that means I'm giving you the opportunity in our weekly task to sign up for a meeting with me. Please take advantage of this opportunity. I would require it, but I know that schedules are difficult, but you should consider this an amazing opportunity to be well prepared for your test. This will be a 15 or 30-minute meeting with me to go over commonly missed problems. We'll practice things together to make sure you're feeling confident and ready for your test. So sign up for that in the weekly task. That's it for me. Good luck with your test, you guys. I'm rooting for you and cheering for you on my side of the screen. I hope it goes well. We'll see you.